We're gonna just do a little thumbnail, just a quick little thumbnail, and then we're gonna like kind of like go, just go into it.
He seems to like session stuff. Like all the footage that he gets really does feel like it's like not these like missions. Like we're gonna go to this one spot and get this one clip. It's a lot of like random spots. But it seems like he's just like dorking around and having fun with his friends. He's just significantly better than everyone else that's skating. I do think that clip was cut suspiciously early. He does this trick multiple times. That's another thing. He does a lot of tricks a lot of times.
I'm taking a break from drawing. I have to save my wrist.
I don't know if this video is cropped weird, but it seems like he gets cut off a lot. I think it's the way that it's cropped for this video, though. Also,
are you getting wrist pain? Normally I don't get wrist pain. I'm also drawing on a stand-up thing.
I feel like you think of Reynolds, think of certain tricks.
Like an easel.
I think of wall rides, I think of slappies, and I think switch frontside flips and late shoves. But then every other trick is
1, 2, 3, 4.
Here's a switch laser flip.
1, 2, 3.
Like every part he's doing a ton of new tricks, and there's not a lot of skaters that do that.
One
skater that I think does do that, they never really got that big on rail. That grinding that rail is insane. But a skater I think never got a ton of credit for how many tricks that they had because they were so sort of typecasted as the kind of skater that they were as Corey Duffel. If you watch Corey Duffel's Cataclysm Week of this part, there's so many random ass tricks in that video. But yeah, just a ton of different flip tricks. He skates nollie, he skates switch. I guess I was like
I've been having issues with it. Oh, interesting. Do you think it's carpal tunnel? Maybe you should start doing like some exercises, or maybe take some what's it called? Here, I take this stuff. Here, I'll be right back. Let me go get it.
That's the one. The big nose line makes 0 sense. Who else has ever done that? It was a faker, right? Who else has an extra 180 like right in the water? What a psychopath. Who else has done Figgy Biggs Mendez line?
I take this stuff right here.
Right there. But I think that's the other thing about skating.
I take this stuff at Walmart.
It's almost, I don't want to say like anti-clean, but it's like so obvious that he's just like,
I don't know if they sell it at your Walmart, but it's called Vital Proteins Collagen Peptides. Someone told me I should take this for my ACL, but it says it's good for your skin, hair, nail, and joint support, which I think there's a lot of joints in your wrist, so that might actually be something. I take 2 scoops every single day.
Stay on your board no matter what. I don't know if I said that to him or he heard me say that or whatever, but like that is always been my thing. Like when I'm falling, I try to stay on it no matter what, and it makes you right away from stuff sketchy. But I think it creates a different kind of board control, and that is absolutely from guys like Lou Brother and Wes Kramer, where they just like they make whatever comes their way work. And I think if you adopt this kind of skating, especially if you have like legitimate board control, I think that's like what the future best skater is. Like imagine you have like a Nija dude, but like skating with this sort of attitude. I mean, I feel like those things don't naturally mesh up too well.
Yeah, look it up. Look it up on YouTube.
Super good switch backside flip. Like for every trick that he almost got 4 down on that. That was insane. Like for every trick that he does, it's like a little sketchy. He might have a toe drag or something like that. He'll have the most perfect tweaky trick as well. It's just, I don't know. It's like he's the best.
This is this guy's favorite skater. It's one of his favorite skaters. It's just strange that it is.
Yeah, look how many times he did this. Like, I'm sure it felt awesome. But that is a lot of times he jumped down that double set wall. That looked terrifying. I like it when the glance, the hat flies at the camera. You can kind of see it. Yeah.
But yeah, you should really look into your wrist because that is a very, very important thing, especially if you want to keep drawing later on.
Ridiculous. I'll use frontside flip. I like how the people do that kind afterwards. Like, he also seems to choose tricks that go a bit against the grain. Like, tricks that you're like, that is one of the tricks that I would least want to try down that. If you've ever been to this double set,
How should we draw? I mean, I guess we could just kind of like take a break today and just draw a massive shield.
It's really long. I mean, it's good, but it's really long. And I also think it's bigger in person than it is on film, which is not always the case for California skate spots. A lot of the spots out here are actually easier to skate in person than
Or maybe we could do a little buckler. What about like a huge sword but a little buckler? Darn, I just already made it. Fudge.
stuff
You
over
could do it
them,
like
and
that.
it's
Like huge sword, small little shield.
He's also, I could be wrong, but I think he's the first person to legitimately dark slide a handrail, like caveman dark
Wow,
slide.
I've never seen anybody dark slide a handrail.
Fabricator rails.
Dude, that's crazy.
There's like 6
Wow.
handrails at that spot. The main one people get is
That's insane.
one, and then the little force one at the bottom. This one's legit. Like, I want to say.
It's weird how he dark slid it because he didn't have both of his feet on both the sides of the trucks. He has like one foot on one truck.
Crack at the top of the button. I mean, you can see it's popping, but you feel him. What else does he have in this part? I forget what there is. I just like chop this up and I forget what is that. Oh, I think it's the John Cardiel rail. I'm not positive if it's the rail that John Cardiel tried. That was like a big deal in San Francisco. This one right here. But I think it is. Because otherwise it's just like a really random, scary looking kink rail. I feel like there's more significance to it than just being a very buff rail.
Are you going to bed
That's
yet?
what the John Cardiel tried to hit in
Put it on low.
some video part, and he just kind of broke off. And so, to have like a legendary skater like John Cardiel and have it be like this unfinished trick and then to go do it, I think is pretty incredible. And yeah, he's not.
Alright.
You can't really put Wes Kramer in any box. You can point out the way that he skates, but you can't point out like the specific thing that he skates. He hits everything. Big rails, big gaps, flips his board, tech tricks, manual stuff. I mean, he does it all. It's transition. What didn't he do? If he jumped the mega ramp, I would be excited, but probably not surprised. That's the end of the video.
Most people have no clue that in
Sure, I should do that
the
little
best
shield.
way to make money on Amazon is not with physical product.
Let's see here. What should we watch? Just put on. I like just putting these on for like background noise. Let's see here. Which one? I guess we haven't watched this one.
I think we're legitimately having like time trials in this thing. This place is super fun. I wonder how much rough it got since I last was here. Oh, it's legitimately like a time trial race. A lot of cruiser boards. I wonder if anyone has training wheels.
I already feel like I already kind of went too deep into this thumbnail, but it's okay.
See a little bit of air on each of them. Come on, everybody, let's get one pump, dude. Just one pump. That's all we want. Is one pump from you guys. Do a little time trials on the new wheel, is it?
I'm not sure how we should do the shield though.
Zipping around on the wheels. Who's gonna win, dude? We should have them race. Yeah.
Air's still working? Air's working.
You just out of the gas. Oh, yeah, it'll burn your legs out. That's harder than skating a spot.
It's fun, but man, it's like cardio for skateboarding.
That's the one that Victor Hart flipped.
Alright. Let's send it. Oh, what's up? Welcome. We're drawing a little character right there. I don't know what one we're really doing. We're getting some salt.
Like the humps almost aren't far enough apart for him to like hump the way he wants. Lap him! Lap him!
How goes it? How about the sword right here?
Big deck check, dude. Yeah, this one right here, that one's definitely possible. Yeah, Matthew could do. You said you accidentally almost ollied some kid. They're so quiet.
All we know is we're drawing a dude. How did you find this stream?
Yeah, I think that's those young legs, dude. He's gone around this thing like 10 times. Everyone else goes around once, they're like, I'm done.
There's also make a little Bible. Just do it there.
Oh, yeah. That guy would have died. That guy would have killed him.
Kinda don't know if I should do the sword like that though.
Oh! I didn't even realize that one was even doable. They're all doable for Matthew, though. Like, he can just ollie every gap in a row.
How did you find this stream? How does everybody find these streams? Maybe we should just do a bike right here or something.
Oh, the manual man was sick. Get in there. Get in. Oh, he lost speed. You gotta, like, give the kids in front of you, like, a pretty big head start to even try. Go get around them. Or not.
When it comes to your wellness routine, the details are
We could do like a shepherd night.
with plant-based.
That's what we might do. We might do like a shepherd night.
Having to go down right now.
Oh, Mount Moriah. Okay. Cool. Alright, so you guys see this? This is basically our little thumbnail. Now, some artists do like some wild thumbnails. Like, they go like really into them, you know? But sometimes they take up a lot of time, so... Which I guess that's why you do the thumbnails, to actually save time sometimes. But sometimes it actually takes more time, because then you start changing a whole bunch of stuff. We might do... I don't know about this sword. We might make that like a staff or a club or something. Basically, we can draw though. Alright, let's send it. We're going to try and build this up. What was today's Bible study on? Oh yeah, it was on hidden treasures. Huh. Hidden treasures. Oh man, that thing got all dirty. I'm going to turn off the viewer thing. I do not like seeing the viewer thing.
You got it? I'm watching, dude. I'm focused on you, Landon.
Let's see here, travelers. How should I do this? We might even just do a shield. Yeah, I guess, I mean, we could do it like an easier one. Because if we do like a bigger shield, I like kind of doing the bigger shield because you don't have to draw as much. So we might just do that because we kind of want an easy day.
Get down. He's so loose.
Let's do this. Let's zoom this out. There we go. Alrighty, let's send it, everybody.
Crazy how much bike is flying skaters down here. Usually it's the other way around. Yeah, I went over that one time, man. I've been sick for a while, but my leg is throbbing. Just that.
You're kind of in the way. Let's see here. Should I push this out one more notch? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to just figure out the proportion of this character. We'll just make some notches up in here. That's generally how I've been starting these characters out. So
A lot of people are deck checking and clearing them all like
I think we'll say this is roughly where we kind of want the top of the character. So now, I've actually kind of changed my process now. This is actually making it way quicker if I just do it this way. So we're just going to go like this, and we're just going to see if it fits in here. see, we'll try that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7.5. Wow, I got that down like first tee. I mean, I know we draw a lot of characters, but that one's fitting in pretty good. So this is kind of our like guide right here. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna establish our line of action, which I guess this is kind of where we establish where the character is on the plane right here.
You can warm up so hard here, it's like you're done.
Okay, so here's our line of action, which is kind of like the spine of the figure. Let me zoom in one more. We're going to establish the 3 movable masses.
Dude, I gotta follow you. Oh, you're gonna follow? I'm gonna try.
It's going to be gigantic. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is we're going to establish the head, the torso, and then the pelvis now. We're just basically going to just think about this as like playing an RPG game. This is a little bit turned, so we're actually turning this pelvis just a little bit. So these are our 3 movable masses, the head, torso, and then the pelvis, established on this kind of graph thing right here. So another big landmark I do is the knees. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.5. By the way, I apologize if there's any cursing. I do not... I can't control other people's languages, okay? But I'm surprised he's even cursing in these, because I thought you get, like, demonetized or something if you do. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe instead of, like, a giant sword, we'll just do a book. And then maybe like, I don't know. We can do so many different variations now. Because I know I have done like the giant sword thing, but...
Yeah, man. Imagine being 10 and having this near you. Have fun every day. I would love to be in the imagination of any one of these kids. Like, you know right now in their head they're like speaking 100 miles per hour, having the time of their lives. Like, that kid's about to win a contest that doesn't exist, and I can't wait for him to get the trophy. All these kids are about to have calves in the field. This is the future cross-country runners of the world.
We might just do a giant shield, so we don't have to draw as much. I think we're just going to do a shield like that. So the cool thing about doing the shield at times is see all of this stuff behind it. You really don't got to draw it as much, right? So it's kind of like a cheating way if you don't want to draw as much. You just throw a big shield right there, which I guess makes it a little easier, right?
Oh, no way.
I'm trying to think, how should we do this? I am not sure about the sword.
All of that to get to the end and just fall in the shove.
Art hacks. I guess I wouldn't say art hacks. I guess it's just Not wanting to draw as much. I'm just roughly established in this stuff, by the way. I'm not sure how we're gonna do this. I don't know if we're gonna do the gigantic sword, because now I just realized, like, I kind of drew like a two-handed sword. The arm's huge. Do that.
But before we were enemies.
Well, they went like old style. It's pretty cool. So there is this thing that like, and there's this figure drawing artist named Andrew Loomis. He does like this weird pivot thing, where you pivot. So see how this end of this biceps right here? You like pivot it over here. So like, okay, so end of the deltoid right there. You kind of like arc it right here. So it'd be like right there. I guess I almost got it right. I'm not sure how we're gonna do this. Just mess around with some variations. Sword. Now this one, I have to be like careful how I draw this sword, right? Because like, I feel like if you just have the sword like there, you're kind of just chilling, right? But some people get a little tripped out when I draw certain poses of swords, so. Hidden treasures. Not sure how I'm going to put the Word of God. So the Word of God's supposed to be the sword. Something like that. Maybe this will be it. I'm still not really digging it too much, but it might work. Because I might put a bike. It sounds ridiculous, but we'll put a bike right here. Kind of fun to do. Go for it.
We got Nick coming over. We're just trying to direct him on how to get in. There's this ledge too. Really good curved ledge.
Let's go for it.
Nice. Trying to play with that rail over there. Oh, do you see more like kickflip?
That's kind of fun. I used to just do the characters just like that, you know, but then like the bike, it's just kind of fun to do. I kind of want to put maybe like, maybe this dude will be like a shepherd knight. Because I could just armor this guy out, but I think we might go like shepherd knight maybe. Yeah. All right, let's send it with this pencil. So this is like our commitment pencil. This pencil is kind of harder to erase, so we kind of have to just go with it. And I'm gonna put some music on, and we're gonna just watch some BMX videos now. So let's see here. Where is it? It does seem kind of lopsided. I might have to like bring this leg out a little bit more and push that one out. Okay, now I get to put some music on. So I'm going to open up another window and just play music right off this, because this will make it way easier for me to play music. Just playing it on the computer.
Allows me to have that peace of mind no matter.
Right, let's do this. Let's go, let's go. Trying to speed this up. All right, so we have our key right here. Let's go with our line of action. Three movable masses. Split that in half. This is a block. Trying to think about these as simple shapes. We're going to put our pelvis in, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 at 4. Let's think about that as a giant block of mass. Let's split the pelvis in half, like we split that in half. Or I guess not. We kind of like triangle split in half from this point down into the middle. From this, we're going to establish our knee landmark. So we go 1, 2. I guess it's hard to see that. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7.5. Landmark for the knee is at 5.5, depending on which key you're doing up in here. Different proportion sheets have different keys for different landmarks. So say like if you were to do like a Studio Ghibli character, the proportion key's a little bit different. They're generally on like a 5 or like a 4 head key. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.5. Just this line right here. Just gonna think about it that way. It's established that we're actually gonna push this leg out a little bit more because there's so much weight over here. There's something about Bridgman where he talks about the distribution of weight, which I guess the shield is kind of making it seem a little bit. We're actually gonna push this leg out a little bit more. Keep that one the same though. Does that look like it weighs down? It's kind of janky a little bit. Not sure if we're gonna do the shield still. We can still change it. We do have the option to change it. Okay, so we have this established right here. Let's think about this as a giant block of mass. So we're basically just thinking about blocks and circles, which this block is keyed in with this right here. Still not sure about this. We might actually even make the shield a little bit smaller. It's a little kind of huge, right? Yeah, so let's actually draw behind the shield as well. So we're gonna start with our deltoid. I'm gonna actually make it a little bit smaller. These arms are ginormous, huh? We're going to draw through the form. This is the hand. So we're actually going to make the shield, maybe we'll have the shield like that. Cut it maybe a little bit off on that side. So also what we're going to do is we're going to erase, so because this pencil, right, this is a Crayola colored pencil. I know it's kind of funny that we use the Crayola color pencil. I actually really like them because of this process right here. It can work in layers. The only problem is now this Crayola colored pencil is kind of hard to erase. So now what we're going to do is we're going to erase this top pencil layer with some of these landmarks that we have established for this character. Just clean it up. Which I actually think I kind of liked. Maybe might actually push that leg back where it was. So, and the problem is now I can't erase it really good. Well, I guess you kind of can a little bit, but it's still marked right there. Yeah, let's commit to this shield. Let's just send it. So we know that this hand's right here, so we're gonna make the shield just a little bit smaller. And put a little notch in the shield right there. Let's clean this up. Making sure we kind of put our fingers right there, because if you don't do that, sometimes I've folded the paper with the eraser. It's a neat process. I know this process is actually weird. A lot of this process is actually stemmed from accidents that I've made. Accidents, experiments, learning from other people, taking advice from other artists and stuff like that. Okay, so we have this. This is basically almost permanent in here. I think we actually, since we did that, we actually shrunk these proportions down a little bit. We're gonna kind of be a little bit more careful right now with these next ones up in here. Shrink it down just a little bit. Arcing, Andrew Loomis arcing technique right here. I actually think I made this arm a little bit too big. If we take that proportion right there, see, it's a little bit. So it's actually, and this is kind of like our test layer right here. Just kind of messing around. Still not sure. I really don't like that arm right there, but I don't know, we might have to commit to it. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna make this more of like a Shepherd Knight. You know, I've done so many characters where it was like, you know, we put a big shoulder pad, armor, and stuff like that, which we might do a little bit of that, but I think I kind of want to have like more of like a robe or something on it. Let's commit to this though. And I've messed a lot of this stuff up. Let's redo this. I got really dirty. This character seems kind of stiff. Home workout, what's up, bro? Head up, man. How goes it? Oops, I just hit the camera thing on accident. Bad. Thanks, dude. It's kind of crazy, man, that we're just doing these like BMX streams, Bible study. We're just putting it all together. Someone told me that it's kind of good with the onset of AI. So I was like, huh, let's just keep doing it then. And I had changed this music. Let's see, what should we listen to? Thanks, man. Hopefully I can give glory to the Lord. How should we draw? I'm still not sure. So the cool thing about having this like test layer is you can kind of like experiment, right? Like see if I go on top of this, I can experiment and see what we're kind of going for. But I think we're gonna go with like maybe a cloak on this character. So we're gonna experiment real quick. Let's see if it'll work. Maybe like a cloak, but maybe like chainmail as well. I guess maybe we could think about it like that too, like a chainmail character. Huh. Think about this real quick. What have you guys been up to? What you been up to, home workout? Like a paladin. It's kind of weird because we gotta think about the verses too. So we also need to put a breastplate in here. But see how this pencil, it's like almost we have like this layer. We're working kind of in this layer system, but this is like a traditional layer system. The only problem with this traditional layer system is that this green layer is kind of there. Like you can't like really get rid of it unless you want to redraw it. Let's see if we can draw a helmet. We're gonna draw a helmet on this dude. It's kind of weird. Sometimes drawing the helmets are actually like harder than drawing like a portrait. But see how you can like, that's why I like this technique, is because you can kind of like mess around and really just kind of explore designs and stuff. Kind of like that helmet a little bit. We also have to like make like a chest breastplate. All right. Okay, so I am kind of digging this stuff right here. This kind of looks like a somewhat generic paladin-ish. What we're gonna do now, I know it seems a little counterintuitive, but we're actually going to go and now establish again with this green pencil some of these lines that we've just done, and we're actually going to go back and erase some of this stuff as well. I'm digging this. Digging this, like these lines right here. Kind of digging this one. What is this? Where's our music at? There it is. Commercial. Commercial. What should we listen to? Let's see here. Listen to this. Let's go. Okay, so we have our cloak. If you guys are actually wondering how we do the cloak, I can show you guys a diagram real quick. Now this goes into Bridgman as well. If you actually the very last segment of Bridgman, it goes into this, right? So basically what we're drawing, right? So we have the 3 immovable masses. So say if this was the proportion guide, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7.5, right? 1, 2. So we're gonna do our 3 immovable masses, right? This is just a front pose right here. 1, 2, 3, 4 is at the end of the pelvis for this key of this character. So I guess I'll do it with a different color. We'll do it with like blue or something. I've looked into like how certain woolen robes were made. So a big one, I guess I wish I had another color. I don't, but I'm on right now. So there's kind of like these landmarks for the drapery, I should say, right? So imagine if this was a woolen cloak, let's say about that big, right? That's like the woolen cloak. This little dot right here indicates that this is going to go down like that, right? So we're gonna push the woolen cloak like this. Now the second one is actually right here, where the belt is. Right here. And then what you do with the woolen cloak over here is you take these 2 edges right here and you throw them in just like that. And these go down and then that goes like that, and that's what creates that. So let's do it on the character, right? So we have the woolen cloak that goes over there, it goes around, it goes through the belt like this. And then that leaves that, it goes down like that, and then that kind of goes by the... And then that's how you make a woolen cloak out of a sheet of like a blanket or something. And you can actually do this in reality. It's actually kind of crazy. Now there's some different options you can do for that. Some people, you can take a rock. You can take a rock and then you can tie rope. You know, like have the rock in here, right here. If that was the rock. And then you get a piece of rope and you tie underneath the rock. And you tie a little knot right there. And you can have it saved right there. And so these landmarks right here, I'd like to call them little landmarks. But the more you understand how drapery works, the more you can see how these folds work, right? There's a reason why these folds actually happen. Now, I used to not know that, right? I used to be like, oh, well, you know, just random folds, right? But there's actually physics. There's physics on why these folds are like how they are. Now, I don't know exactly all of the physics of how everything operates, but this gives you a little bit more of an information of, okay, so that's why the folds are like that. That's why there's those folds. That's how that works. Yeah. But also then you can think about the anatomy underneath all of this stuff too. And you can even see it if we were even to watch some of these. Most normal clothing now, it's kind of just it's very simplified, right? But even like this homeless guy right here, you can see how he had that blanket draped over him. There's a reason why things operate the way they do, a little bit. All right, let's do this. Okay, so let's do this one. I don't know. And also, generally you don't have to do a rock because there is called a clothing pin thing. And I learned this from Bridgman, by the way. It's not like I just like made that up. It's like I learned this technique. Well, not the drawing, what I'm doing with the materials, but you know, the drapery thing. There's a reason why if you study Bridgman, if you copy the entire Bridgman book, there's a reason why at the very, very end, that's where he has drapery. Is because once we understand the fundamentals of how we construct a figure, then we can understand how drapery works and how certain things are operating on why certain things are the way they are. And this is also what like animators and stuff do too. They understand all these concepts. They understand it very crazy. Like if you're like in animation, like you have to get in the point where you know why that fold is like moving the way it is. It's kind of crazy. Okay, so here's that one landmark we made, which is I think is just going to be a clothespin with a little cross in it. This is the second landmark, which is going to be probably just like a rope thing. With like some crosses. So this one, so it goes, we can imagine that like blanket thing. So the blanket goes behind him, it goes through it, it goes under here, and then see this little line right here, it goes through the, underneath the belt, and then comes out over here. And this is just for this like robe thing, which this guy has like a robe and armor on. I really need to study this more. Your explanations made it sound interesting. Yeah, I mean, that's the crazy thing is because, like, this is kind of why I like drawing the characters so much is because it kind of feels like an RPG game, right? So it's like, when we establish the character, you know, it's like playing an RPG game. It's like, oh, well, we gotta, like, grind that boss to get that armor piece or something like that, right? And what's really cool is the more we study things, the more you understand, right? So like, you know, even thinking about this helmet, right? There's different styles of helmets. There's different styles of shields, which there's so much to learn. Like, I think the kite shield started happening because of cavalry, like the mounted horsemen. I'm not exactly sure why, but there's actually a reason why shields started going into a point, right? Because there's also like shields that were like giant round shields. There was like little bucklers. And there's these reasonings for why they started doing it like that. It's not like they're like, oh, that looks cool right there. Which maybe, I mean, I guess there are some things that were like that where they were like, oh, that looks cool. But sometimes a lot of these design principles, what they started implementing was actually for a purpose, which I still don't know a lot of times. Like, I don't really know why the kite shield was there. There is some hypotheses of, if you see some of the knights, they would wear something called a tabard, or they would wear like a robe outside of their armor. And there's like some hypotheses of why they did that. One of the hypotheses that I heard was that if you wore like a wool or like a kind of like a tabard on top of your armor, it would actually also protect the armor from getting rusted. Rusting was a very important thing because, you know, you're sitting there buffing your armor all the time. But not only that, but also it could make you cooler in terms of like having the sun beat down on you all day. Something like that, I don't know. That's what I heard on one of those like historical LARPer people. And I guess I wouldn't call him a LARPer. He's like straight up like a straight up historical reenactment guy. Okay, what am I doing here? Oh yeah. So let's actually erase some of the stuff. And we're gonna work on this helmet now. Now we're gonna like craft this helmet. And see how we have a lot of these lines saved? Now this is our finalized pencil layer right here that we're gonna go into. This all sounds so interesting. Yeah, it's pretty fun sometimes. Okay, so let's see here. I think I just kind of want to do a simple helmet. We're just playing an RPG game, everybody. Let's see here. Actually, I think I'm going to redo that. That did not work. Nope, that did not work at all. Sometimes we have to redo it and redo it and redo it and redo it. Sometimes these things are challenging to get. It's like you gotta, I think about this part as like you're grinding something like in a video game. And like the thing about how we're drawing right now is these things can get very, very subtle. Like a little line can change a lot of the characteristics of things. I still don't know if I like that. I honestly think I got that proportion wrong. I mean, not proportion, but the perspective wrong on this helmet. We could put wings on this helmet too. I don't think we're going to. The thing I do is I might just do the simple one. I just put like a halo. See, it's weird because his head's like kind of tilted a little bit, so I'm like, should I do the halo a little tilted, or I don't know. I don't even, that looks kind of cheesy, but well. I think I actually need to redo that. His eyes right there, but I don't know. This is just the struggle. Sometimes these turn out really cringy too, so, but sometimes it's just like, you just kind of got to go with it sometimes. Okay, let's do this little buckle. Actually, let's start erasing some of this stuff. And let's actually go in with this green pencil with this sword. I still don't really know. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to do like the plant sword. So you gotta think about this as an RPG game. I'm also gonna have to put a heart on that sword because we're also called to love our enemies. I know it sounds crazy, but you're called to love our enemies, everybody. You know, I'm just gonna put the plant sword right now. Looks maybe at least a little less threatening. We'll put hearts on it or something. So this one goes, wait, I got confused. Okay, so this one goes over, under, over. This one goes under, over. Something like that. I don't know. It looks kind of cheesy, everybody. I'm trying, alright. Something like that. I also like to try and just do these in one sitting, too, so... Sometimes, some of them, a lot of them have turned out very, very cringy. Sometimes we just gotta go through the cringe. Okay, so here's actually another thing that I've learned from another believer that was an artist. His name was Brad Rigney. He said to work on the hardest parts first, which what he was saying was to work on the head and then the hands, right? Which we actually get to take a little bit of a break today because we have that hand hidden, but we did establish it a little bit. Let's work on this hard part, is this hand right here. Because it's actually somewhat easier because we've done so many hands in this position, so. I think we're gonna have chainmail right here. Chainmail. So much art wisdom. Maybe, I don't know, you gotta take everything I say with a grain of salt, right? But this is what I'm thinking about, though. Okay, let's work on some of this other stuff. Now I get to think we'll work on. Still not sure about this helmet. This helmet looks a little bland, but I might go with it. We actually might like put a little flange on it. Let's actually put a little flange on it. And so see how we did this little flange right here? This little, I forgot what it's called. What's that called? A little, it actually has a word in the armor, like smithing thing. We can take a little bit of these elements and now add them into other parts of the armor. Or maybe taking this size of the flange and then putting that same size of the flange like right here. Look, this guy does the trick that I've been doing. I almost landed this today. This guy right here. Thomas. This guy's the only guy that has a funky chicken how-to on YouTube. We almost landed this today. Bro, that's a hard trick. I think it's hard anyway, but that dude's ripped too. Look at that. Dang. It's such a hard trick, bro. Oh my goodness. See, there is a way where you land it, like you do the tail whip and you just land both tires. But the real way to land it is you do the tail whip and then you go back into a funky chicken. I think that's how he lands it when he does it again. Right here. See, that's how you should be doing it. Funky chicken, tail whip into another funky chicken. That's gnarly. Shout out to Thomas. Guy's a G. Alright, let's do this little clip thing for the woolen blanket robe thing. Put a little cross in there. Look, we already have a bunch of crosses. We got a cross right there. We got three. We already got 4 crosses in here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's establish this one. Okay, let's draw this sword. It's getting a little funkified right there. This is going to get very complex because there's like the plant thing's going to be kind of hard. But we're also going to put like little hearts outside of it because I know this guy looks kind of threatening. But we have to somehow... See, this is actually the hard part what I've actually been struggling with. How do you draw like a meek Armor of God character, but also how do we establish that we're supposed to love our enemies at the same time? Honestly, I kind of don't even like how he's holding the sword like that, because that looks even kind of threatening. It's weird, because I've had critiques and it's totally changed like how I like see things now. They're like, you shouldn't be drawing it like that. It's promoting violence. How do you guys want me to do it? Can you guys show me how to do it then? How do I not promote violence and still give God glory? When so much of media entertainment is about that, right? It's like, I don't know, how do you guys want me to do it? I can't make all you guys happy. I kind of feel like I messed that axis up for that sword. Okay, where's the music? I need more music. Let's see here. Let's listen to... Yeah, I think this axis of this sword's off. Oh, I think I keep messing up. It's actually kind of hard to do right there. It's a little challenging right there. Get help. Huh. Let's put just the randomize. I'm just randomize these videos. Okay. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Okay, so then this one goes under, this one goes under and then over. This is very confusing right here. I'm still not sure about the halo either. Should we do the halo or no halo? Let's send it. Oh, let's do it. Where are we at? We're at 5 hours. Okay. We're still in the clear. Now we just gotta go with it. That's a very confusing area right there. That's very, very confusing actually. Now that I don't really know how we would really do. Like having his sword rest on this. Okay, let's erase some of this stuff. There are these little pencil lines right here. It's crazy that you're just watching this stream, huh? I feel like not a lot of people watch the drawing segment of the stream because it's kind of slow and boring. For me, it's not really boring. For me, it feels like I'm playing like WoW or something. Or like a video game. That's how I see it. Alright, see this little flange right here? The size of this flange, we're going to put that flange right up in here. See how these are kind of similar sizes right here? It kind of gives a little bit of a unity for the armor. Let's put a little bit of like indication for the chainmail. Just a little bit. This is supposed to be chainmail right here. You love watching the drawing process? Well, you've come to the right place then, because try and draw a lot. There's actually a good chunk of time where I got burnt out of drawing, but change the music. Let's go to a new zone. Yeah, I was burned out earlier this week, but I'm slowly getting back around to it. I think what's actually helped me is actually just having this little chunk of time where I'm just like, okay, We're gonna draw even if I feel like not drawing, because that's kind of gotten me. It's kind of weird because there's been days where it's like I didn't actually really want to draw, but then just because I drew and then I actually ended up like drawing something I actually liked. It's kind of interesting. Okay, I got confused with this leaf thing. Okay, so it goes under. Okay, so this one goes over. We did right there. Are we a part of the vine, everybody? Alright, I'm going to put little hearts up in here so people won't get tripped out. Or actually, maybe what we should do is we'll put like a rounded hilt right here and I'll put a heart in it. And then people, if anybody says, well, I'm promoting violence, then I'm going to be like, alright, well, we put a little heart right up in there. Oops, I totally messed it up. Darn, actually, I kind of don't like it like that. Take that one out. Darn, I kind of like put that in there pretty heavy. I think what we'll do is we'll put little hearts for the fruits or something. Like the fruit of the spirit or something. I guess that makes more sense, fruit of the spirit. Let's draw the little bubble right there. Oh, we could put a little chain down here too. Clean this stuff up. See, this technique that we're doing though, it's kind of nice because like it's like a clean up, establish, clean up, establish. You just kind of have to make sure you kind of remember, you know, which lines you establish. Like see how like there's all these little, see how like there's these little lines right here. You know, we can just, but since we established that green layer, we can kind of like, okay, well, we have that permanent layer kind of, and then we go back into it. There are some artists too, what they do, especially like some inkers, is they'll work from like here and then they work down like this, right? Because, you know, sometimes they don't want to like smear some ink or something. So some artists actually do work top or left, top left to bottom right. I don't really do that because I do use like a little hand thing, which I'll put my hand right there if I... Like what I'll do probably when I start drawing the bike. Song's weird. Alright, let's go. Kind of want to put like some bracelets right here. I mean, see, here's the other thing is like, you can put so many crosses. It's so easy to put like crosses and stuff. Like, see, like, it's just so easy. It's so crazy, like, how easy it is to put crosses and stuff. But yet, it's such a controversial thing, right? For, like, companies to do, and... I think it's kind of fun. I honestly like finding crosses now. I've been wanting to actually make a list of every single video game that has at least one cross in it. And it'd be cool to like present it to the Lord, be like, Lord, I have found all the crosses and Bible verses in all the video games. The list, I don't know if the list would be very long, honestly, but maybe there's probably a bunch hidden somewhere. I like to put little nicks right there, you know, like it's like a well-used little Bible. There's little nicks and stuff in it. Oh, this rider's really cool right here. Did I already pass it? Why did it start in the middle? Actually, I really like this video. Oops. What was that? Oh, there it is. I've seen cross motifs before, but most of them were smaller kind without the extended end. Huh. That was a cross that, you know, some people would use. There's a whole bunch of different types of crosses and stuff. I don't really know the lore to a lot of them. I'm putting little bookmarks in here. Tracy got that part wrong right there. Oh, fudge, I messed that up. We actually haven't used this pencil or I guess this eraser right here. This is actually another thing I use, which is actually the first time I'm using it on this drawing right here. It's this Mono Zero little pencil. See how I kind of didn't go into that little axes of that book right there, which I should have right there. Which I didn't. This is like a little mechanical pencil, but it's an eraser. Put little bookmarks. Basically going from that middle of the book out. That's a cool little tome. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna put little metal things on this one. Little like corner savers. Yeah, and if you want to know all the tech tools we're using, these are all the tools for, I guess for this drawing right here. This right here is a Crayola colored pencil. This is the yellow-green Crayola colored pencil. Just normal, not the erasable colored pencils, it's just the normal colored pencil. This is the Mono Zero 0.23. I'm wondering if you can get a smaller one. This is the smallest one that I found at Michael's. And then this is actually a new item that I have started using, which it saved me a lot of time and a lot of hassle. This is the break resistant clear point 0.5. You can get this at Walmart, or the Walmart that I'm at. This one you can't find at Walmart, or you gotta get this one at an art store. This one you can find at Walmart. This is a Papermate. But the cool thing about this one is this one has like a spring in it. See how there's like, I don't know if you can see that, but there's like a little spring. The pencils I used to just use these ones. Most of my drawings I did just use these ones. But the thing is that this one doesn't have a spring in it, and I would just like start drawing and the lead just breaks, and you know, it kind of frustrates me. Or sometimes it'd even like scare me. I'd like be drawing, it's like oh yeah, this is the Joel Schauhorn guy. This is the guy that I saw do that like track stand no hander thing that I was trying today. He's the first one that I saw doing it. This dude's a very underrated rider. Because I've been like trying to learn some of his tricks because I saw him doing like cliffhangers and stuff. I was like, oh, it shouldn't be that hard. And then yeah, I've been trying them. I'm like, holy moly, that stuff is actually hard. Like very, very hard actually. A lot harder than I actually thought. Little crosses. Actually, I need to put a little ridge on that. See how there's like this little ridge right here? There actually needs to be a little ridge right up in there. Just that. Now there would be a cross underneath his armor right there, but we're not going to put that because you can't really see it. We're going to put some chainmail. So this is like the breastplate. I'm trying to think about helmet of salvation, breastplate of righteousness, belt of truth. We haven't done the boots of the gospel of peace yet. Sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, which is also producing the fruits of the Spirit, which is love, joy, peace, patience. Oh, I forgot to put a peace sign. Here, let's put a peace sign. Actually, maybe we'll put a peace sign right there. That actually might be interesting, because we are called to like be peacemakers or something. Now that is interesting. Having a peace sign on the sword. That way if anybody says, I'm promoting violence, well, what's that right there? That's funny. Okay, let's change the music. Let's go to a new zone, everybody. Which one shall we put on now?
expertly designed to reduce nose dryness.
Oh my god, the dodos again! Get him! Oh my god, the dodos are ruthless.
Okay, what are we doing here? I did put a little notch up in there. There we go, a little notch right there. This is the pinky. Now another thing I forgot to mention that some artists do, I really don't do it very good, but some artists, they use like line weight, right? And so what they'll do is like, they'll already establish where the light source is coming from. And then they'll actually like thicken some of these lines. I try and do it a little bit, but I'm not very, very good at it. But some artists are really, they really exploit it, and it's really interesting to see. Well, they'll already establish the light source, and they'll be like, oh, well, I'm just gonna darken this line down here because that's the shadow right there. I think that's just pretty cool. It's very hard to do though. Sometimes I'm to just totally forget. Okay, let's do the belt. Just the rope. We're also gonna put little, because he's wearing chainmail right here. And the rope goes right down. Yeah, there are a lot of techniques. The other thing is that this is just how I do it, right? You can get the same thing with way different techniques, right? This is just how I do it, right? So, because some artists, like there's some gnarly artists out there that don't even do like the construction layer. They go like straight into it. Like they just do like the finalized layer on the first go. That stuff's crazy. Okay, so let's follow this line through right there. I'm gonna put, and see how we have this little ridge right here? Let's put a little ridge on this like woolen robe thing. Because I kind of like doing that, because I kind of like, I can kind of like finalize that part at the bottom. See how there's this little line that goes, actually this one needs to go like that. See how there's this line that goes right here? Let's go. And this one, let's go like that. Push another one. Now what I also like to do is I've been liking to just put like these little notch, to see how like this is actually where the knee is. I've been liking to do like stuff like this where it's just like, oh, well, yeah, if you were wearing like this robe and you were kneeling down a lot and stuff, like where do you think it would start like wearing out and stuff? Well, it'd probably start wearing out like on the knee a lot, right? So, you know, thinking about like him like repairing his armor. Make these little, you know, little things up. character's kind of cool. He's kind of husky. He's a husky character up in here. I feel like he could hold his own. I think he could hold his own up against a demon. A demon, a devil. Let's actually work on the boots. Let's see, what are we gonna do for the boots? We got some experience. We got some battle scars. I guess maybe not battle scars, but spiritual battle scars. Let's do this boot right here. See this little ridge? We're putting a little ridge right here. I see how this is kind of like rounded. I kind of want to take a little element of that. So that's actually something I kind of forgot to mention too. See how this like armor piece is like kind of rounded? Well, we can kind of like think about putting a little bit of roundedness right there. Thinking that this is a plate, this is a plate. We can maybe think that maybe something like this would be rounded up in here now. Something like that. A little bit rounded. Put in this little ridge right here. Thinking we could put something like that up in there, a little ridge. Good little boot. Good little boot. Okay, so now I guess this is kind of a challenging part. It's like when you do one boot, you kind of have to do it on this side. We also forgot we got to put a little peace sign up in here too. Maybe I'll do it on this one. So see how we have this little sector right here? Think about this. I kind of like to try and do that first part first right here. We're going to put a peace sign in here because these are called to be the boots of peace. This song is cool. It's like weird. I always thought this song was really weird. Like it's just kind of eerie. But also like you're intrigued. Like you want to explore. Now we got the shield to do. I kind of messed up that little sector right there. Good thing it's not ink though. We can redo it. For the best. There we go. That looks a little more even. Let's push it out. Let's put a little neck in here. I think the necks are kind of fun. Like right there. Kind of reminds me of like the graffiti stuff. Maybe put a little crack in there. Like he blocked a blow, like someone was trying to freaking chop his head off or something. And then we take this pencil again. And we will. I kind of want to like put like stars and stuff on this one, because this is like the shield of faith. There's this one Daniel verse, I'm pretty sure. It says something like, those who lead people to righteousness will like shine like the stars or something like that. I thought that one was kind of cool. I actually haven't done that one in a while, so we're gonna put like little stars. The stars are like little crosses. I think it's a spirit shield. This character's it's kind of coming to fruition now, huh? I almost kind of want to have like this shield almost like look like it's like kind of like ethereal or something. I don't know. How can we do that? What time are we at? 5:47. Okay, darn. Sometimes I do these characters pretty fast, but sometimes it take me a while. This one actually did kind of work out a bit, just because these ones are a bit easier to do compared to like a kind of a bit more of a harder character where I have to kind of think about it more. This is kind of more like easy mode-ish, because I've just drawn so many knights before. I don't know about the ethereal thing. No, how do you draw like something like ethereal looking? How do you draw something ethereal looking? Man, the WoW music was so good. Like there was like an entire orchestra for the WoW music. How would I make this like ethereal looking? See, with paint you could do it like, you know, you can kind of like have it like wispy at the top, but I don't know how to do that like that. Maybe we'll just have like some stars and stuff after. Kind of have like some stars like kind of going off. Like, you know, like when you like move the shield, there's like still like a little bit of like radiance. It's like the stars kind of like going. Whoosh. Pretty cool. All right, we're changing the zone. I need to change this music. Music weird. Let's see here. Let's go in here. I like these songs.
Today, not tomorrow, not next week.
Is this the right one? I don't think it is. I'll listen to it anyway. Okie dokie. Well, that was kind of fun. Welcome everybody to BMX Bible Adventures. This is the RPG module for real life, where we can somehow make disciples of all nations. Okay, let's draw the bike now. We got the character down. Let's draw the bicycle. Which is so hilarious. We get to draw a bike on this character. It's kind of fun though. So how we draw the bicycle is, since we have this proportion guide right here, what I like to do is I like to take the proportion of the shin right here, this little line. And then we kind of, you know, if we look at some of these guys up in here, we kind of generally notice that the shin is actually basically where the size of the 20-inch wheel is. It's a rough guesstimation of it. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get another drink. Blank up, blank up, blank up. Okay, what was I doing? Oh yeah, we're gonna draw the bike. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this line, because he's standing on this line right here. Just gonna push that out like so, maybe push it a little bit farther in. Take this little proportion right there. Let's take this pencil and let's just kind of quickly guide it in there, like we do with this one right here. And then we erase it, do a green one, erase that one, and then do a finalized layer. Okay, so we have to remember that the bars have to be somewhat in here somewhere. So let me just see what this is gonna... So generally how I draw the bikes is we'll go one wheel, two wheel, and it's actually not exactly 3 circles. If you look at a BMX bike, depending on if it's like a flatland bike or something, it's actually like a little bit less than just exactly 3 circles. And let's just quickly rough this in. So then we block this in. We make this like a giant cube, or rectangle, not a cube, never mind, not a cube. Rectangle, or I guess this is a cube right here. We cut this cube in half like this. We cut that cube in half like this, and this is actually where the middle of the hub is. And then we can figure out that that's where the fork is. And then with the fork we figure out that, and then we figure out the stem. kind of like what I was showing you in the garage. And then from here, we can figure out the bars. Which I don't know if that... maybe we'll have I gotta think, what kind of bars should we have on this? I kind of want to do like normal bars. Just there's a little bit more relatability. Just normal looking geometry-ish. Okay. The soundtrack's actually amazing. Okay, so from here we have established this thing, or the bars, and that. Next we're going to go into figuring out where the seat post is, or the seat tube is. Which the seat tube, if we were to imagine that this is... also thinking about the geometry of the fork, we can think that this looks like maybe he, because let's see here, because that would be 0. There's 0 degree. This would probably be like a 5, 15, maybe 15 offset. Then we go. Here's the next. I've like talked so much. I'm like I don't even know how to talk anymore. So it's 3. We find the seat tube. It's roughly a little less than where the tire is, if you were to see a BMX bike. And that is where the seat tube is. Maybe a little less, but then we also think, okay, where are the cranks? So the cranks would probably be like right here. Wait, did I get that wrong? I think I did. Huh. Okay, so let's think about this as terms of the down tube. There's just a straight line right here. Then we have this. I always like get this little segment right here wrong. There's always something a little janky up in here I do. There's always something janky. I think I pushed it up too high. Yeah. That's basically how I draw these bikes anyway. But I always mess up a lot of this stuff, so. I feel like, what did I mess up? I think it's this right here. Does this bike look all weird? Oh, it's because of this right here. This needs to be closer in. That's where I messed it up. Okay, that needs to be closer in like that. Then that gets pushed like that. This top tube's way too high. That's the bottom bracket. Okay, I think we got it down, everybody, somewhat. I know my bike drawing skills is probably not mechanical design worthy, but you can somewhat draw it like that. And it's kind of fun. It does set the tone of this character now, because I'm like, man, it's so cool that you can like draw a character but then also put a bicycle in there, because I like bikes, so. And the Paladin, if you think about the Paladin lore, what do the Paladins get? The Paladins get a mount. So it's like almost like the mount, but it's like the modern day mount. Something like that. let's try this out. I also want to say, you do not need to watch this entire stream. I feel bad for people that are like just watching the stream because like the stuff probably seems super boring. He needs a way to go around and spread the word to people. Amen. That is exactly the case. Okay, so now what we're going to do, just like we did with this character, we're going to go on top and establish the stuff. And then we're going to erase this pencil and then go back with our finalized pencil. Tires are always the hardest part, I feel like. I'm actually going to change it to BMX Streets right now. Because I'm drawing a BMX bike, alright? BMX. Oh, there's 31 viewers. Someone's playing BMX Streets. I wonder who it is. Somebody is. Well, now we're in it too. Am I cool enough, everybody, to be a part of the BMX scene? It really just feels like I'm crazy, but oh well. Is the guy gonna be pegged? No, this guy's gonna have pegs. The guy's gonna have pegs. Blanket. Okay, let's change the music. Or should we just keep listening to this? Yeah, I'll just keep listening. It's just peaceful music. This guy's gonna be rakeless. Actually, maybe he'll have just one straight cable and we can have like it look like the vine. Like, are you a part of the vine? Are you stewarding everything for the Lord? Okie dokie. Establish the bars. And see how the bars are kind of like this too. I also am kind of thinking, see how like even the book, see how this line and that line's kind of like that, and how the bars are kind of like that too, and how this little line and that little line's kind of like that too. I'm trying to kind of think about the perspective, but I'm going to be honest, I don't like, there is a mathematical solution that you can like, you know, totally exactly figure out all the math for all of this stuff, but a lot of this stuff I just start guessing. I'm just like, because the problem about, for me personally, when I start mapping out the perspective a lot, is that it gets me like very confused, because I'm just like, oh, and I have to be like super exact sometimes. Okay, we're gonna establish this top tube now. That down tube. This frame is humongous. That's fine. And see actually how that's actually think where I messed it up. Well, I guess not really messed it up, but like, see how I did this circle right here and then did another circle? The other one should actually be like right there. That. I made it a little bit too, almost like 3, but so this frame's actually pretty huge. He's running a pretty big sprocket. This part is actually probably the hardest part for me to draw on bikes. It's because like it goes out, so it's like a triangle, but also it like bows out into the dropouts, which that looks terrible, but oh well. mess that up, I will. Oops, I totally messed that up. Okay. Little chain. There we go. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna erase all this pencil stuff and then go over with the finalized pencil. And see how this one stays. That is the power of the Crayola pencil, everybody. The very pencil that people hate on. that's the most funny part about it all, you know, it's like... That's actually what tripped me out too, because once I figured that out, I was like, are you kidding me? What in the world? Like, it's almost like we're reverting back to everything that, well, maybe not, or when I figured it out, I was like, what in the world? Like, it's almost like everything I've learned from, like, other artists and stuff, and, you know, no one has ever told, you know, ever showed me to use a little colored pencil. Why I started using the colored pencil was actually, I saw some people using a non-photo blue colored pencil, right? A lot of the animator people would use the non-photo color blue. And then there was this weird time where I just like found some colored pencils on the ground. Like I was like riding my bike and I just found like some colored pencils. And I just started using them and they were just Crayola colored pencils. And then like I just started getting used to it. And the art store that I went to looking for the non-photo blue pencils, they didn't have any non-photo blue pencils, so then I just started just using the Crayola color pencils. And then here I am now. Okay, let's draw them out now. I think we've established this. Now the problem is, I also have to say, if you put this, sometimes you have to be kind of careful, your pressure sensitivity, when you use this pencil and then put that on top, because see how this pencil actually got kind of trapped underneath this a little bit, like see right there, and even though I try and erase, it's like trapped underneath that because like, so you gotta be a little bit careful. Man, this writer's crazy. That's the thing is, man, these guys make it look so easy. Like this combo that this dude just did is so hard. Like I can't even do one. I guess I could do that kind of. But oh my goodness, he just did a, look at that. That dude just did a fakey whiplash to fakey pedal hang 5, outside pedal hang 5. What is this dude on, bro? Like, some of these guys, like, I'm just like, how long has this guy been riding his bike? Because, like, this guy has probably been doing flatline for, I'm going to have to say, at least 10 years. Because in order to get to that level right there, holy moly, that guy is a very high level flatliner right there. Especially doing that like that double footed stuff that he's doing right there. The double footed stuff is kind of weird because it looks easy like that right there. Because you're like, oh, he's not moving that much, right? But it's actually extremely hard. Like, it's so hard because you don't have that leg dangling off for balance. Who is this? I think this is Vicky Gomez. Yeah, this is early Vicky Gomez right here. Which is crazy. This dude's actually still riding to this day. Man. It's so crazy seeing how he rides now. Wait, is this all Vicky Gomez? I'm wondering if this is all just Vicky Gomez. Man, I've been trying to learn that trick right there. Just even that one little trick, and I can't even do it. This dude just did like a 20-point combo right there. Anyway, let's keep drawing. I'm getting distracted. The writing's just so gnarly. Man, dude, it's actually insane, dude. I'm like, holy moly, dude. Like, a lot of these tricks are just so hard. Like, oh my goodness, that was insanity right there. Like, some of these tricks are just in insanity level, where it's just like I feel like some of the flatland stuff, people don't even realize how hard it is. But after like trying to learn flatland, now I see the tricks that are like, I'm like, holy moly, that is insane, bro. Like, how in the world does someone even learn something like that? Anyway. Crazy individuals, man. Bikes are gnarly. I guess everything's gnarly in some degree, but... Yeah, it kind of is almost like dancing. There's actually this one dude, his name's Ahmed Johnson. One of the first flatlanders that I met. Hello, Jimi Hendrix. How are you? How are you tired of playing guitar? Is that why you're doing art right now? Well, honestly, if I will be honest, I am kind of on a time limit with how much I can ride because there are neighbors that live right next to me. I know it does seem like I live like in the middle of nowhere, which I kind of do live a little bit more isolated than, I guess, a city life. I'm a little bit more isolated than a city folk, you know? But the thing is, I do have a neighbor that lives right next to me, and they wake up like super early, so I would actually, I would actually keep riding for longer periods of time. It's just, I gotta be a little bit more quiet, because I don't want to because if I bang my bike, even though I'm in the garage, I'm pretty sure when I slam my bike down, you can probably hear it from the neighbor's house. So, just common courtesy. What are you doing, Fufu? How you doing, brother? Brotherino. Brother of the Lord, the faith. Okay, what am I doing? I totally got distracted. What was I doing here? Oh yeah, we're gonna do the forks. I generally like to start with the forks for some reason. I don't know why. Now, if you guys can tell me what fork that is, I will give you props. I'm gonna say it right now. That little design right there is very, very prominent for a certain set of forks. Which, if you know, you know. Forks are a little weird. Huh. What did you say? I know what it is? Do you know what it is? I can tell you what it is. It's a sect, which I actually don't know what that word means, I think. What does sect mean? S-E-C-T. I'm not sure. I think it means a denomination. I'm not sure, actually. What does sect mean? Let's look it up. I'm actually not sure what that means. What does that mean? I've never looked that word up. It's actually weird now I think about it. What does that even mean? What does sect mean? I don't even know. Oh my god, I did not know it was this. That's funny. A group of people with somewhat different religious beliefs, typically regarded as heretical from of a larger group of which they belong. Wow. Isn't there like sects of Christianity? I feel like that's something that some believers talk about. Sects of Christianity. Because wouldn't like every denominational difference just be a different sect? Oh, it is. That's so funny. Look at that. That is hilarious. Right? Because like, man, that's just so funny, dude. I just find that very funny. Sometimes I wonder if the Lord just like makes these little jokes in some degree. I mean, I guess I wouldn't call him a joke, but I don't know. It's just I kind of like find it kind of funny. I'm like, huh, that's kind of weird. You guys think that the Lord has a sense of humor? I'm not sure. I've heard that question being brought up on Reddit many times, and people do say that he does probably have a sense of humor. By the way, these wheels are the hardest part to draw right now. And I just do like ovals, like little circles. I don't like drawing the rim. That's actually what got me away from drawing bikes, is because if you draw the rim and then the spokes, all of that in there, it's like really, really confusing. So I just do a big circle right there. Like a specific group of something. Sect is like the word sector. This guy's gonna have some headset spacers. An interesting character though. I'd say it's a Paladin-esque character. Let's change the music. We gotta change the music now. I'm getting tired of these ones. I wish I could listen to non-copyright music, but what should we listen to? Let's see here. Listen to this. Okay. By the way, I've used this thing as a hand thing. It's a sticker, Dogtown sticker. Okay, I put that right there. All these bars are kind of janky. They're a little thick, but I'm gonna have to redo that. Oh well. Maybe they're carbon fiber bars. There are these carbon fiber race bars that I was looking at, but it's weird. There's like a weight limit to them. When I was looking at it, they're like, you need to be a certain weight to ride these bars, and they're all like youth bars. I was like, whoa, that's weird. Okay, this bar's a little bit taller on this side, so I gotta like calibrate this. For some reason my light is flickering on me. And I think I got that bar wrong. Oh well. Does that look janky? That does look janky. Those things have some crazy upsweep. I gotta redo that. That thing looks weird. Man, it's hard to like get this even. Okay, that's why I didn't get it even, because I gotta like think about this. I guess that is kind of right how I had it. Bars are actually hard to draw. I feel like the hardest parts to draw on a bike is the bars, the wheels, and then this little sector right here. It's very, very confusing right at that little wishbone thing. And actually, I pushed this up too close. I actually just saw that picture of that sprocket that we just saw, that Rasta sprocket. This actually is a little bit too close. I actually should have pushed this seat post a little bit closer, but I can't really go back anymore. So we're just gonna have to commit to this, everybody. I'm wrong, bro. That's actually one reason why I like to draw these characters in one sitting, is because sometimes I've gotten like these crazy critiques, you know, and I'm just like, especially like if you get like a critique after you painted something or you worked on something for a long period of time, and you're just like, well, I worked on this for like weeks on end and now you want me to change it? Like, so now I just start doing things in like one sitting, to where it's like, okay, well, if I mess up and upset people, well, then I'm just going to try again tomorrow. That's how I think about it anyway. There's a gusset right here. Man, this tube's weird. It almost like bowed out. This bike's strange. This bike is a weird bike. The hardest part of the bike is everywhere, because some are weak on the wheels, some are weak on the handles, some are weak on other allies. For you, it's the handles. Yeah, there's a lot of geometry, right? Which I'm actually not good at mechanical design. There is like these, you know, like if you see like those old, it's crazy. There's like some really, really old drawings where people draw engines of cars and stuff like that. Bro, that stuff is insane, because everything is like, they call it mechanical design because it's functional, right? And these mechanical designers, they draw it in a way that is functional, right? I know all of this. I mean, all this stuff is like, if I were to show this to a mechanical designer, they'd know exactly. You know, they'd be like, oh, well, because that's actually off right there. But the thing is that they use CAD. A lot of mechanical designers, they don't even draw things anymore. They just use it. They use this program called CAD, and it kind of just draws it for them. And you just get to like, oh, what kind of size do you want? And you just kind of like shrink in the size and stuff like that up. They cheat. I wouldn't say they cheat. It's just quicker. Especially if you're wanting to just design a product and then put it out there. Oops. Man, I'm all off right now. I guess the cool thing is we get to add a character in here. That's kind of what makes it fun. Okay, this part's going to be hard right here. This is always such a strange little area right here. I don't know how they, I mean, is it kind of more like just like a straight line? I think it is. I think it's like a straight line and then it pushes out right there. Like kind of like, and then goes down like that. I think, oh, that's terrible right there. That's not how it is. Oh well. Wow, this bike's strange. It has such a small back end. This is like a 22-inch. Yeah, bro, that's like a 22-inch frame with like a 10 back end. They just go to the easy road, but someone that goes on the Broadway? Oh, maybe. Maybe, man. Because, I mean, a lot of the things that I consume are made in CAD and stuff like that. I think it's CAD. I don't know what program they're using nowadays. Oops, I totally messed that up. Oh well. Let's actually push that out a little bit more. This is a kind of an old school frame or something. Okay, we're almost on the home stretch, everybody. Yeah, I totally messed that wheel up. Fudge. I'm just kind of rushing it at the moment because I'm hungry, tired. Being exact anymore. We'll give some credit to this company. It's the only company that's hooked it up. Well, I guess Golden Days has hooked it up as well, but in terms of like a company, this is the only company that's hooked it up. So I'll put a little Easter egg right here. It's not that hard to do. What is that? Oh, that's so funny. That just makes me laugh. Sometimes I ask the Lord, out of all the companies, Lord, that's the only company that's hooked it up. Well, I guess Golden Days is hooked up too, but I don't know if they're still a company, really. Now what we could do is... I don't know if I am going to put some animals, because sometimes it just makes it a little cheesy. Because I know we did the squirrel the other day. Maybe a raven, but now we're going to put the Bible verse and just kind of call it a day. Dino Chicken Nugs. What's up, man? What up, dude? Alright, a verse in here now. Let's push this over on this side. What class would this character be, everybody? The class is pretty obvious, really. Honestly, it's like, I feel like it would be like shepherd. It's like shepherd paladin, shepherd nature paladin, like plant paladin. And instead of killing people, he plants seeds in people and turns them into trees. He makes them into ants. Let's see if we can write a verse in here. I don't know if I should. I guess, yeah, we'll do it like that then. Maybe we can't. No, I'm not going to have enough room. Welcome, everybody, to BMX Bible Adventures, where you can be a part of the story, where we go out into the Great Commission and make disciples of all nations and proclaiming the gospel to every creature. Which, coincidentally, this guy is actually a believer right here. Whereas this guy is crazy right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, Dino Chicken Nugs, the last dinosaur, he's my friend in the whole wide world. Chicken Nug, the last dinosaur, shows me a world that I haven't seen before. Now, I'm going to be honest, sometimes I do think that how crazy would it be if some people have actually fought in some dinosaurs, and that's kind of where, like, the dragon lore some stem from. Okay, we're going to go into Ephesians 6. Huh. Which one should we put in here? I think I always like to put that one in there. Therefore, take up the whole armor of God that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand firm. That one's just generally the one I put in there. But also, this one's actually really good too. And take up the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the Word of God. And then maybe I could put... Let's see here. Now, if I had more room in here, I would put multiple verses. That's the problem. I mean, I guess let's see. Can I put this verse in here and then this fruit of the Spirit verse? Let's look at that one. So we have this one, which is this, and then we go into Galatians 5:22 through 23. Where's Galatians at? Oh, here it is. Galatians 5:23 through 23. Galatians 5. Okay, so maybe we could put, with the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness. Can we put that verse as well as this verse? I don't think so. It's not going to fit in there. Darn. I mean, man, I already kind of like made it like that too. And I guess maybe I could push it down like this. Yeah, let's do it like that. I mean, let's see if I can somehow erase this a little bit. Okay, I barely put it in there, but we can kind of erase it. Oop, oh darn, I just messed it up right there. The 80s were a strange time, huh? Can we change the music? We've been listening to this for a little bit too long now. Goes in here. I'm gonna have to write this very, very tiny, everybody. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to fit it all in here. For some reason I write, I don't know, do you guys write at an angle? For some reason I write at an angle. Okay, we're going Ephesians 6, 17. Sorry, everybody, if I'm not keeping up with the chat at the moment. I'm a little tired now. And take the helmet of salvation. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit. I guess I could write it all in there. I wrote it really, really tiny. Have you seen that one person that is writing the Bible? And the sword of the Spirit. Comma. Which is the word of God. Period. Oh, that's actually a comma. Okay. Okay, so then the next one is going to be Galatians 5:22. Galatians 5:22, everybody. This is the combo. Galatians 5:22. But the fruit of the Spirit Did I spell that right? Galat. Oh, I almost put a. Oh darn! I messed it up. I misspelled it, I think. G-A. Wow, that's a weird word. Galatians 5:22. It's kind of off axis. Should maybe push it a little bit more that way. Got the fruit of the spirit. But fruit of the spirit, comma. Oh, there's not a comma right there. Gosh, man, this is why I wasn't very good in school, huh? Is love joy? Is love joy? Peace, patience. Comma. Comma, kindness. Goodness. Faithfulness. And I'm not going to be able to write the rest of it. That's just 22. And sorry, I'm gonna catch up on the chat. My bad, everybody. If you guys can't tell, it takes me a long time to write things. There we go. Okay, let's see what we got talking about. What are you guys talking about up in here? Let me push the chat over here. Kind of crazy. Normally, there's been a lot more people talking lately. Let's see here. Oh, what happened to my chat? Did I just exit out of my own chat? There it is. My handwriting is squiggly. I don't have good handwriting, to be honest. You put your pencil between your index and major thumb. Do I? I don't know what I do. But I do know that I have this like bump right here. Like, look at this thing. It's like a writing blister in that thing. That's the drawing blister right there. It's like straight up a callus. Like that whole thing's a callus. Well, I was, but anyhow, that's how I wrote when I was a kid until teachers wanted me to change. How's the stream been going, Jamie? It has been going very good. Actually, today's been pretty, the Bible study wasn't that hard, actually. It was actually one of those rare days where I didn't read a commentary. Yo, chicken, it would fit you well to try it because like the wishbone that comes to the chicken. Also, I can see that. Also, why would I never consider working in a seafood department? Any clue? Because I'd be too selfish. What do you guys call a flying rat? Huh? How does NASA coordinate events? They plan it. You don't know what they call a flying rat? What do you call a flying rat? This is like the only joke I actually kind of have. Because it's just funny. It's just easy. What do you call a flying rat? A bat. You call it a bat. Alright, let me put my signature in here. Having that green. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think we're gonna put a fish up at the top too. Right up in here. We're gonna put a little Christian fish symbol. I mean, I think that would be kind of like considered like a flying rat, huh? A bat. All right, we're gonna put a little bit of form lines in here, just real quick. Nah, I could mess that up at all. Ready? I'm gonna call it a day, everybody. I'm tired and I'm hungry. We're gonna put this on the wooden thing and the last drawing, I honestly really like this drawing. This drawing turned out gnarly. Look at how much different this chick is compared to this dude. Like, dang. That dude's like a straight up knight. Or even just seeing like how different this bike is compared to this one. It's in the same angle, basically. Look at it. It's like the same angle. But this is like more modern geometry. But this is like flatland. Honestly, the modern geometry is like very just like kind of blandish, honestly. Because what's weird is like most companies, they just kind of just like put similar geometries, but it all kind of looks the same. What's different is just kind of like the sticker. But that's what's crazy about Flatland is Flatland, it like, they really have unique parts in Flatland. And it's kind of fun to draw. Thank you for the kind words, everybody. I want you guys to know, you guys are in no obligation to be watching the stream. Like, I'm used to people not watching the stream, honestly. I honestly find it weird that you guys are watching the stream, because I'm kind of just used to just people not watching the stream. I'm actually very, very used to it. Actually, let's erase some of these. Actually, I guess we'll just keep it like that. I'm going to take off all of the doodads right now. Exit that out. Let's do... The birds of the air will be eating her hand, huh? Text, BMX video, slideshow. Let's push this out one more. One more in. We're gonna get a photo of this. Let me put on actually the more of the light. Well, everybody, this is the character we got done today. Inspired by these verses, which I put these ones on a lot, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the Word of God. So we try to do, you know, if we think about the armor God, we have helmet of salvation, breastplate of righteousness, belt of truth, boots of the gospel of peace. We did try and put a little peace sign right there. Sword of the Spirit, which is the Word of God, and the shield of faith by which we can extinguish all the flame darts of the evil one. But also because of this verse right here, Galatians 5:22, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness. So within the sword of the Spirit, which we bear fruits of the Spirit, we have a little peace sign, and then we have little hearts. Because we're called to love our enemies. I know it sounds crazy, but it's been a very weird challenge. So you guys are out there. And that's kind of what also trips me out, because I always kind of wonder, like, if there was a collective body of believers and you were tasked to give God glory in a video game, or like making a video game, how would we go about doing that? Right? Like in the video game, would we love our enemies, or would we, I don't know, right? I mean, I guess we try and promote that, but I don't know, right? I don't know anymore. And I'm going to get a thumbnail right now, and that is the thumbnail, everybody. Now I get to eat. I'm so hungry and I'm tired. Just make sure the games are clean, not toxic. I guess it's also the thing about consumers and then the creators. That's the other thing. There's a lot of logistics to all of it. But hopefully the Lord is going to guide us. Adios, everybody. I'm out of here. Here's some close-ups, and we are out of here. Try your best and have fun, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Anybody that has stopped by, I appreciate it. Thank you. Farewell. Farewell. Actually, let's see. I guess I could raid somebody. I actually forgot. Wait a minute. I don't know how many people. There are 6 people watching this. I guess I could raid somebody. I forgot. We can raid people. Let's see here. Let me. Where's my phone at? There it is. Let me see who is live. Let us see here, everybody. Let's see. Do you guys play Fortnite? How many people in here play Fortnite? Because I will raid Spencer, but I'll probably just raid him just because if you guys play Fortnite, that's the thing. I don't know if you guys play Fortnite or not. Okay. I did shout him out earlier. Spencer, you're watching this. Hopefully you can play WoW or something. For some reason, I don't meet too many people that are playing that at the moment. But I do meet some, so... Darn, I don't know who to raid, man. Where are all the blues at? Consumed? I guess let's raid Consumed by Him. It's another, I guess that's a believer. I've actually never raided this guy, so we're gonna raid this dude. Let's see here. I think he stopped by too, so yeah, it'll work out. I'm gonna raid this guy. Since you guys don't play Fortnite. Consumed. Okay, by him. There we go, right here. Boom. There we go, ready. Consumed by him. Whoa, this game looks cool. I've never even seen this game before. Alrighty, everybody. We're rating this person. Glory be to God. Thank you for planting and watering seeds of faith.
Join us. Hope you are having a wonderful evening. We appreciate that raid again. Thank you so much. Glory be to God. Thank you for planting and watering seeds today. Amen. Thank you, Jamie. God bless you. Same for you and same to you. I appreciate you so much. glad to have you guys here. Present to you, Jamie, a virtuous squire. Hey, welcome in.
Gotta head out. You know, time to eat. All right, farewell, everybody. I'm out of here.